Let's homework exercise number 1 from section 3.3. We'll start with number 1. Fill in the blank so that the resulting statement is true. A conjunction P and Q is true only when, okay, now, P and Q, that's upside down V, so that's a conjunction. P and Q is only true when both P and Q is true. Notice if you do a little truth table, PQ, the 4 different combinations would be true, 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 false, false, true, or false, false. And the definition of P and Q, it's only true when both P and Q are true. If one's false, it's false. So in this case, the second row is false because Q is false. In this case, in the third row, it's false because the F is false. And in the fourth row, they're both false, so it's definitely going to be false. So the conjunction P and Q is true only when P is true and Q is true. Only when both P and Q are true. The disjunction P or Q is false only when, now again, the definition of P or Q is P, Q. We have again true, 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 false, false, true, or false, false. The definition is it's only false P or Q of V, looks like a V, is only false when both P and Q are false in the fourth line. Otherwise, if at least one of them is true or both of them is true. So true, true is a true. True or false, P is true in the second line is true. False or true in the third line, Q is true, so it's true. So again, P or Q, the disjunction, is only false in our statement when both P and Q are false. All right, let P and Q represent the following statements. Determine the truth value of P and Q, okay? So P and Q. Now, okay, so P and Q, we have P, 10 plus 6 is equal to 16. We know that's a true statement. 10 times 5 is equal to 50, not 100. So Q is definitely a false statement, right? So now we're doing P and Q, true and false. From what we just learned, the only time an and statement is true when both are true. So true and false, if one of them's false, the and statement, the entire and statement is false. So this statement would definitely be false. All right, let P and Q represent the following statements. Okay, 2 plus 10 is equal to 11, so P is definitely false. 2 plus 10 is 12. 8 times 10 is equal to 80, not 160, so both of these statements are false. So Q is false also, okay, from what we have here. Okay, now, negation of P and negation of Q. So we do negation of false, all right, and negation of another false statement. Negation of false, negation always changes false to true and true to false. So negation of false is true. Negation of this false is true. So we get true and true. A statement with both parts true, the conjunction is true. So actually, even though both of these statements are false, we're taking the, you can see the negation of both makes them both true true makes it a true statement. So we definitely have that the statement not P and not Q is actually a true statement. All right, just go through it one step at a time. All right, question number 5. 6 plus 5 is equal to 11. So P is definitely true. 6 plus 5 is 11. Q, 8 times 2 is 16, not equal to 32. So Q is definitely false. So now we have P or not Q. P is true or not Q. Q is a false statement. So not So the negation or negation of false would be true. So true or true, a statement, an or statement, at least one of them or both of them are true, then the entire statement is true. So the statement P or not Q is definitely a true statement. Okay. Determine P or not P. Okay, so we only have one statement here. 2 plus 4 equals 5, which we know is absolutely false. So P has truth value false. So we got P or not P. P is false or not P, negation of false. So negation of false is true. So false or true. Now this is a or a disjunction. One of the statements are true, so for a disjunction it is true. It's only false when both are false. So false or true is actually a true statement. So the entire statement P or not P is going to be a true statement. All right, homework exercise number 7. 5 plus 6 equals 10. So we know that's wrong, and 5 times 3 is 15, so they're both false, right? So in this case, my statements P is false and Q is false. 5 plus 6 is 11, 5 times 3 is 15. So now negation of P or negation of Q. All right, we're going to negate P, which is a false statement, or negate Q, which is also a false statement. The negation of a false statement actually makes it true. The same way here, negation of false makes it true. And then finally, true or true for an or statement, either one or both are true, makes it a true statement or a disjunction. So the final statement or the entire statement, not P or not Q in this case, is actually a true statement, because both of them to begin with were false, but then the negation of both falses make it a true. So we end up with true or true, which is actually, we know, is a true statement. Okay, now we're going to actually do the truth table one step at a time. All right, so now we have P and Q. Now you always start with true, true, false, false, true, true, and then true, false, false, true, and false, false. Now notice, the negation of P, all we're going to do is we're going to look at the whatever P is over here. It's true, so negation always makes it a true, false, and a false, true. Okay, so this is definitely going to be a false. Now, negation of P, we just did is false, and, right, it's an and, or in conjunction with Q. In this row, it's true. True, false and true is a what? False statement. Only time and statement is true when both are true. So this would be false. So we can finish our first line here. We know that negation of P, you look at the opposite of P, which is true, so it becomes a false. And then what we just did was the negation, the false and true would make it a false statement. Okay? And now we go to the next line. Okay, again, same idea, just look at what you have. P, again, in this case is true, so the negation of P is going to be false. Okay, so the negation of P is going to be false. And negation of P, which is false, and Q, which is also what? False. False and false is going to be a what? A false statement. So both of these will be false in this case, all right? Just do one step at a time. Go from one column to the next, and you'll be able to get your answer. So we have false and false. Okay, now we go to the third row. Okay, notice here, P is now false, right? So the negation of P, negation of false is going to make it true, right? And so the negation of P, which is right here, is true, and Q, which is also what? True. A true and true is actually a true statement, right? The truth value is true. So in both of these, the not P will be true, and the not P and Q, true and true, is going to be true. Okay? So again, go one step at a time, one column at a time. So this case, P is true, and that statement is true. And now finally the last row. Both are are set to false. So in the negation of P, negation of false, right? P is false is going to be a true statement. And then negation of P is true, and Q is now a what? In this row, a false. The truth value of true and false is going to be what? False, because the only time an AND statement is true is when both are true. So in this case, not P is true, but not P and Q is false, because a true and false gives us a false statement. Okay? So just one step at a time we're getting our answers. All right? That's how we do truth tables. So this is a true, and this is actually a false. All right? We're going to stop this session here. Okay? This is your math instructor, Dr. Swears. I hope you found this video helpful. If you need more help, send me an email in the Canvas course using the inbox through the FSW portal in the Canvas course, or call me at 239-938-7805. Thank you.